going to start off with a song. This is the beginning of our camp, everyone. Come on up, kids. Come on up, leaders. Come on up, crew.
God's love never fails and it lasts forever. Our God is great. Our God is great. My God is with me. Yes, He's with me wherever. Our God is great. Our God is great. He's an awesome God. Bigger than my wildest dreams. Monumental love. Eternal love for you and me. 'Cause He's an awesome God. Our God's an awesome God. God is in charge and He watches over me. Our God is great. Our God is great. My God is strong and He'll never let go of me. Our God is great. Our God is great. He's an awesome God. Bigger than my wildest dreams. Monumental love. Eternal love for you and me. 'Cause He's an awesome God. Our God's an awesome God. Yeah. Our God is great.
Our God is awesome.
Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Our God is great.
Our God is awesome.
Celebrate.
Celebrate.
He's an awesome God. Bigger than my wildest dreams. Monumental love. Eternal love for you and me. 'Cause He's an awesome God. Bigger than my wildest dreams. Monumental love. Eternal love for you and me. 'Cause He's an awesome God. Our God's an awesome God. Our God's an awesome God.
It is indeed, kids, we indeed have somebody special because we know we have we do have an awesome God. Take a moment, say hello to somebody you've not met before, shake hands. We've got some visitors in our church, so come and say hello and we will carry on. Well, it looks like lots of people said hello to somebody new. We've got about half of our campers here. The other half are on holidays or have gone to their own church or just couldn't make it because I had a couple people had a surprise vacation. So they're out having fun. But we're going to make it happen anyways. So first of all, you'll notice we have a giant word there. Kids, what does that giant word say? And why is this camp called monumental? Because God is monumental. Anybody out there, what does monumental mean? What does monumental mean? What does it mean? Big. How big? Humongous. Show me how big is. How big is a big God? Oh, yeah. Monumental. That's exactly it. We're going to show you what our days looked like. We're going to tell you what our days looked like. Each day we had a story. We were looking at the story of Joseph. Each day we had a Bible point. Each day we had a Bible verse that we were looking at. So we're going to rip through those days, and you'll kind of get a feel for a little bit about some of the things that we learned. So our first day, who did we meet? What character did we meet? We met the Gila monster, Harley. Do you kids remember? Don't do it yet. Sienna's down here. You're going to have to really speak up loud. Are you ready? Follow Sienna. Ready? That was our message. In Psalm 89:2, we read, "Your unfailing love will last forever." So this was the day that we looked at Joseph's family feuding. They're fighting. And we looked at how God loved Joseph and his family even when they made a mess of things. We all have our imperfections. Do we all have our imperfections? We all mess up. That's right. But God doesn't withhold his love until we're perfect. He loves us just the way you are. Oh, stay up there. We're getting ready for day 2 already. That's what we did on day 1. Day 2, we met Miley, the road runner Miley. Do you kids remember the Bible point? Let's do it with Sienna. Let's try that again. God is with you everywhere. Ready? And in Joshua 1, verse 9, we read, "For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." This was when we looked at the story of Joseph being imprisoned. Joseph was a slave for, do you guys remember? 11 years. Good for you. His life changed wildly throughout his life. What happened to Joseph? Thrown into prison. First, what did his brothers do? They threw him in a pit, and then he was in prison. Oh man, Joseph had quite the life. Kids experience a life filled with changes too, but just as God was faithfully beside Joseph in each of these situations, God will be with you guys and with all of us wherever we go. God's faithful goodness goes with us. Let's hear that again. What is our Bible point? Look up there, kids. Ready? That's a good thing to remember. Then we moved on to day 3. And who did we meet? Where is he? There he is. Howell, the coyote who thinks that he's in charge of the land. He thinks that he's the big cheese out there. But he's not. We know that God is in charge. So let's watch Sienna and remember your Bible point. Let's hear it again because you're good at that one. And we know that because we have an... Yes, we do. In Psalm 147, verse 5, we read, "How great is our Lord, his power is absolute." So in our Bible story on day 3, Wednesday, we looked at Joseph getting new responsibilities. So Joseph had been enslaved, falsely accused, felt forgotten, probably by his brothers who threw him in a pit, and that his life was out of control. Kids might feel the same sometimes, just like you and I. Life can sometimes be difficult, but we learn that God was always in charge of Joseph's story, just like he's in charge of every aspect of our lives, even when things seem out of control. So let's hear the Bible point again. What are we remembering? We remember that. Yes, we do. We know that because we have an... We do. Day 4 came along. Thursday came along. And there we met Rollo. Rollo says God is stronger than anything. That armadillo has great armor on him. So what's the Bible point? Let's see it again. Let's see your strong man. Yes, and we know that's the case because in Romans 8:38 we read, "And I am convinced that nothing can separate us from God's love." God's love is stronger than anything because we have an... I only heard a third of you there. Because we have an... Yes, we do. The Bible story here is that Jesus dies and comes back to life. Kids live in a world of bigger, better, stronger, faster. Everything has to be bigger, better, stronger, faster. Yet in reality, death is the strongest, most final thing any of us face. That is, until Jesus. We all make mistakes. We all face the consequences of broken relationships with God and with each other, and nothing in our power can completely fix it. We can't completely fix those problems. People thought that Jesus lied, they arrested him, and crucified him, and that day Jesus died. His friends couldn't fix it. They couldn't undo it. Everyone thought death was the end of Jesus, but God has power no one can even imagine. God is stronger than sin and death, and God's monumental love meant he gave up his son's life, and he did that for each of you, and for each of you, and for all of us. So we remember that God is stronger than anything. Let's see your Bible point again. Because we have an... We do. Day 5 came along Friday. We went to the train park, rode the train, but we also learned that, we also met Jet. Jet, if you'll notice in our set, when the kids maybe come off the stage, is riding the rapids. Yeah, our little rabbit, hare. What is he, a hare or a rabbit? I'm not sure. Something about the ears you're supposed to know. A desert hare. He's riding the rapids on our set. We know that God is surprising. Let's see if you kids can remember that action. Ready? Follow Sienna. Let's do that again. See if you can remember when we were at the park and I was trying to take pictures and I asked you to, when you get up in the air, and try to stay there for a minute so people here can see you. That's what I want you to try again. I know, it's hard. When you get up all the way to the top, try to stay there. And you folks, give them a thumbs up if they stay there. All right? Because that's what I asked them to do. Are you ready? Watch Sienna. Did they stay up? Yeah, they know how to do it. Exactly. We know that God is surprising because in Psalm 66, verse 5, we read, "Come and see what our God has done, what awesome miracles he performs for people." Our Bible story on Friday was that Joseph reunites with his family. What surprises us never surprises God. Do you think God is surprised at anything that happens in your life, kids? Yeah. Do you think God is ever surprised at anything that happens in your life? God is surprised? No. Who is surprised? Yeah, we are surprised at things that happen in our life, but God is never surprised. Kids often think of surprises as big, noisy, flashy, and exciting. Joseph's story reminds us that God surprises us in many ways. God reunited Joseph with his long-lost family. Maybe the surprise that we see is seeing a beautiful sunset. Maybe the surprise we see is a smile on somebody's face when they're caring for somebody else. Doesn't have to be big and flashy. God surprises us all the time. We ended our week by celebrating all of God's good surprises, big and small. These are all gifts from a loving, faithful God. Remind us again what the Bible point is, kids. Because we have and we know that God is watching over us all the time. Can you guys share your song with everybody here? Watching over you. Sing really loud so they can hear you and remember the actions.
When you're jumping up and down, when you're spinning round and round, God's seeing everything you do, 'cause He's watching over you. God is watching over you. 24/7 watching over you. Your life is in His hands, whoa. He's got great big plans, 'cause He's watching over you. When you're waving your hands up in the air, when you're shouting, no matter when or where, God's seeing everything you do, 'cause He's watching over you. God is watching over you. 24/7 watching over you. Your life is in His hands, whoa. He's got great big plans, 'cause He's watching over you. God is 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 watching over you. 24/7 watching over you. Your life is in His hands, whoa. He's got great big plans, whoa. God is watching over you. 24/7 watching over you. Your life is in His hands, whoa. He's got great big plans, 'cause He's watching over you. Hey!
Good morning, everyone. How are you all? It's great to see you all. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Andrew. I'm the lead pastor here at Fraserview. It's been a great week here at camp. I think the kids have had lots of fun. And we should give a big thank you to Lou and to Nick and all their volunteers and the crew. They've done a wonderful job this week. I always think it's a little brave when a company that provides a kids curriculum calls it monumental. The emphasis is on the mental for most of the week. I'm here as a commercial break. We're going to run through our announcements for what's coming up in our community in the next little while. So a reminder that there's a potluck after our gathering this morning in the fireside room. You go out the doors and turn right. Everyone is welcome to that. Do come and join in the chat and the conversation about what's going on. A reminder that there is a cafe chat here where we're going to continue discussing what we should do here at Fraserview with the building and the land. We've been exploring our various options, and we'd love to hear your impact on that. There are some discussion guide documents. It was linked in the email, but they're also on the welcome table out front. So do come along and participate in discussing where we're going with our building. Other announcements are, with our kids ministry closing down till September, we will have one other fun outside activity, Church in the Park on August the 7th at King George Park there at Canby and 5 Road. Do come and join us there on August the 7th. And do we have anything else? Oh, Lou is already advertising FraserviewKids Camp 2023. It'll be in the first... Already looking for volunteers, yes. First week of July next year, so do look forward to that. And then I think for those who are reading the chronological Bible, we've still got lots of the Psalms to complete, and then we're starting into the beautiful depictions of God in Isaiah. We're asking the question, what type of person do Psalms portray God as? I think that's the same as last week's question. Do I have anything else I'm supposed to announce? Oh yeah, Fraserview Church Camp starting off our fall season, 9th to the 11th of September. We're going to Stillwood. Please do sign up for that if you would like to go. That's a great opportunity for us to share together, share a weekend as a community. I think that is all my announcements. And my other task is to invite the ushers forward, and we're going to collect our offering. Our offering is the way in which we remember that all the good gifts we receive, particularly the good gifts of this week, come from God. And it's a way for us to give generously and to encourage and support that work. If you're visiting, don't feel any pressure to give. God encourages you to give with a grateful heart.
While that's going on, could I ask the crew leaders to come on up and just sit with me here? Crew leaders. Here they come. These folks, you'll see, are the most amazing teenagers on earth. And I'm not exaggerating. Yes, absolutely. We've got, here, let's squeeze over so we can get, oh, come on over here, guys. Yeah, find a spot. Perfect. We've got a couple that couldn't make it today, but these are the meat and potatoes of our camp, without a doubt. So I'm just going to put these guys on the spot, because teenagers love that. Don't they? Right? Yeah. Yeah. Look, see, I got a nod. Braden. This is Abriana, Renaya, Rebecca, Braden, Lucas, Francis, and Sienna. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what these guys do, but first I'm going to ask a question, and you wrote down the answer, so you could just read your answer. Braden was the one who nodded his head. So tell me, Braden, what did you learn about being a leader?
Being a leader means you have to strive out of your comfort zone and be assertive, especially when you're dealing with very young children. That and turn to the Lord, especially when you're having struggles.
Good answer. All right. Let's see who else I can get eye contact with. Where did you see God at work? Let's see. Sienna, you want to answer that one? Where did you see God at work?
I saw him in prayer and the songs.
And I want to just let you know that all of the actions for all of those Bible points, Sienna made up. And she did a great job, right? Yeah. And that's a great way for kids to remember something using their bodies. So it was very helpful. Thank you, Sienna. Francis wrote an entire essay here. So we're going to let him answer this one. What did you learn about being a leader?
I learned that being a leader not only means having fun with the kids, but also making sure that kids are doing whatever they're supposed to be doing.
And you know what? That's hard, to make sure kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Especially since, when you think about it, these young leaders, they're kind of like in that bridge between being a kid, being a camper. Some of them were campers last year. So being a bridge between being that kid and you want to do the activity yourself and just kind of putting that aside and being able to help somebody else do the activity who's younger. So that's a challenge. Lucas, where did you see God?
I saw God in the children that I was watching with the past week.
And I want to tell you, at the end of the week, Lucas came to me. I'm going to share this. I didn't check with you. But he came to me and said, that was such a great week. Can I have the exact same kids next year? And I have to tell you, Lucas was running circles all week chasing those kids. And the fact that you've got all that energy, Lucas, and you still want to, first of all, be a leader next year is amazing to me. But that you want to have those kids that had you running circles. I think that's pretty incredible. Rebecca. Yeah, what did you learn about being a leader, Rebecca?
I learned how much I like to learn and play with little kids, and that I have to be responsible for them while also making sure that they're having fun too.
And it's that balance between being responsible for those kids. We had a busy building, kids running everywhere. They got to go to the bathroom. They fall and trip and land on their nose, or they got paint in their hair, or they got paint on me. I have to tell you, at one point I was looking at the kids at Imagination Station through speckled glasses because I had paint speckles. Splatter paint is a great idea until you're in the firing line. And then you got to wonder. There are so many things that we need to be grateful for with these young leaders. They really are the meat and potatoes. The way camp worked, just for your information, is each one of these leaders had a small group of 5 to 6 kids that they were primarily responsible for and moving about the building, and got lots of positive feedback from the adult leaders about what that looked like. We are going to take a look at a video. Nick has put together a video to give you a better idea of what the week looked like, so enjoy the video.
God's love never fails and it lasts forever. Our God is great, our God is great. My God is with me, yes, He's with me wherever. Our God is great, our God is great. celebrate.
Our God is awesome.
Celebrate.
Celebrate.
He's an awesome God, bigger than my wildest dreams. Monumental love, eternal love for you and me. 'Cause he's an awesome God, bigger than my wildest dreams. Monumental love, eternal love for you and me. 'Cause he's an awesome God. Our God's an awesome God. Our God's an awesome God. Yeah. Here we go. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Hey! Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Hey, yeah. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God.
And we know all of this is true because, kids, what is it? We do have an awesome God. I hope that as you gather for the potluck and cruising around the foyer, that you can take a look at the God Sightings campfire that's out there. Kids, each day the crew leaders at snack time, they talked to the kids, prayed with the kids, talked with the kids, they ate snack together about where they have seen God in their week. Some of the God sightings, that's what our campfire looks like out there. Some of the God sightings that you'll see, like it brought me to tears sometimes, the things that these kids said. I see God when I play sports. I see him in my dreams. I see him when I'm scared and alone. I see him when I help others. I see it when I'm picking fruits. Like, that's beautiful. The little things that God surprises us with. I see God when I do hard work. I see God when I sing and when I read his word. I see God everywhere. Those are amazing. There's probably 80 or 90 God sightings out there. Check them out. Go out there and see, what are the kids thinking? Where do they see God? Some of the thoughts, insights, and blessings from the leaders, they had so many. One of them, as we were leaving on Friday or Thursday, I guess, after cleaning up, and I asked, she said, the biggest blessing is I made it through the week. It was exhausting. It was absolutely exhausting, but that is a huge blessing. I had Ingrid, one of our leaders, said that she was especially blessed to team with Teresa. You saw Pharaoh in the video? That was Teresa. It was kind of a last-minute change, and they had this opportunity to work together, and they've never had that opportunity. So what a great blessing. God surprises us in so many different ways. They brainstormed together, teaching kids about Joseph's story as well as Jesus' death and resurrection. One of the blessings that Ingrid commented on was a child when they were sharing the scene with the cross and the story of Jesus dying, it made this child very emotional. And I just think, wow, like this really has meaning. This really has impact. There's lots of blessings from the leaders where they say they watch the crew leaders share with their little kids what it meant to follow Jesus. What does that look like? So these are, teenagers sharing what does it look like to follow Jesus. I had a young, the kitchen crew, they were thankful that other young mothers stepped up to help out with cleanup and with setup and just everybody feeling like they could pitch in. One of the parents by Wednesday was kind of a little overcome with the work that these crew leaders were doing because they were on point. These crew leaders, they were on from beginning to end. They could not leave, their eyes couldn't leave their 6 little kids. This parent brought them donuts, which was just such a nice, thoughtful thing to do. I have families talking to me about our Fraserview camp that we're going to in September. You are all welcome to come. We're going to Stillwood. We're going to have an amazing time. You can sign up and come with us. I think Andrew's probably going to talk about it, or no, did you already? And I wasn't paying attention? Oh, oops. There's information on the back table if you're interested. I had an email from a parent, and she says, thanks for all the focused efforts to speak life and plant seeds into my daughter. You and Fraserview volunteers are a blessing. What a wonderful week. Thank you to the church for their financial contributions. It is appreciated. I look forward to visiting Fraserview one of these days and connecting with you again. This is, an opportunity for somebody who has not been part of a church to feel welcomed. One of the leaders said that she saw God in how he inspired our team to be creative with things that we were doing, especially the washcloths. Valerie made washcloths, like 71 of them we counted. Valerie, it was awesome. And one of the leaders said, I'm trying to think, how can we tie this in? And she said, well, it's just like Jesus washing the feet of the disciples. And so the cloths, the kids, one day at snack, they had this, and it's all about the cloth. And it's a reminder that Jesus' use of the washcloth teaches us to serve God by serving others. Because in John 13:12-15, it says, after washing their feet, Jesus said to his disciples, do you understand what I have done for you? You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should wash one another's feet. What a great reminder that this washcloth is what we need to do, how we need to serve others. So thank you so much, Valerie. And I've got more washcloths. If you folks from Fraserview, if you didn't have a kid in camp, you didn't get one, you're welcome to come and take one. What did I learn? I learned that I have to trust Jesus, that I have to remember that no amount of planning, no amount of sleep, no amount of good nutrition in preparation for this camp is going to make it run smoothly. And that's kind of fun. Like the unexpected stuff that came up was very wonderful. Trusting Jesus with things like being the witness, being the witness to some of these children who had their very first taste of God was amazing. I know leaders, sometimes it would kind of like stop you in your tracks, wouldn't it? Even the young leaders. When you see the emotional response, this might have been their first taste of God, and we get to celebrate that together. So in our camp, we had 42 kids and 24 adults, and 24 leaders, and one might think, oh, that's a pretty good ratio, 2 to 1. It can't be that much work. I want to remind you that those were 42 kids, ages 3 to 12, and then 11 crew members who are young teenagers taking on huge responsibilities, and 13 adults. And those adults may have been the ones in the kitchen, they may have been the ones at centers, they may have been behind the booth. So the ratio was not really 2 to 1. God was in charge of all of it. It was 1 to what is that, 40, what is it? 60, around 60, yeah. If my brain worked, I could add it all up, but my brain doesn't work anymore. Then you think of all of the volunteers who made cookies. Do you know that we ended up with about 16 dozen cookies? From you. You fed the children through the week. So we thank you very much. And all of you were praying. I know that the community of Fraserview was praying as camp was going on. So we thank you also for that. So really the number of people who participated in camp far exceeds the 60 or 70 that actually appeared during the week. So we thank you very much. So what was the cost of serving? My leaders served, the youth served. The cost of serving is we're tired. It was a huge time commitment. We were definitely stretched out of our comfort zone, right? Isn't that what somebody said here? We had to give 100% focus on someone else. And that's not something we often do in our lives. You do it with your young children. But when you're, no longer having young children, you think you can kind of run your life. This was 100% focus on someone else. That's what serving is. We had to put our own needs aside, our own tired needs, sweaty needs, sore feet needs. We had to put that all aside, but the benefits were absolutely immeasurable. We got front seats to watch God at work this week. And I tell you what, we had fantastic spectator seats. I got to stand back and watch the leaders run the station and the crew who just blew me away every day, lead the young kids, and the kids be in awe and see God sometimes for the first time. So I want you to think about where you can serve. If this isn't your church, obviously, I'd love you to come here and serve, but if it's not your church, think of how you can serve in your church. Think of how you can serve in your family, in your community. Think of how you can be all about the cloth, how you can be like Jesus and wash the feet of others and serve others. So kids, come on up. We've got 2 more songs to sing, and I think you like these 2 songs. God is Always With Us is our first song.
Everybody get down low. You can go even lower. Here we go. Everybody jump up high. Come on, jump up. I know you can jump even higher. Come on, let's shout as loud as we can shout. Woo! God is here right now. Yes, He's here without a doubt. Yeah, He is always with us through He's here without a doubt. Yeah, He is always with us through every up and down. He will never leave us, He'll always be around. He's the one that we can trust. God will always be with us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He is always with us through every up and down. He will never leave us, He'll always be around. He's the one that we can trust. God will always be with us. God will always be with us. God will always be with us.
Wow. We have a song that you know the words to. We are very confident you know the words to this song because it's a song I know I've heard people sing at other worship, at adult worship time. So we want to teach you this song so you can sing it with us. So kids, they just put in a request for another song. Do you think Georgia Ray or Brady or somebody back there, you guys could find Power Shuffle? If it's possible, that would be great. But we're going to do this song first. So, kids, what is our God? Show me. Our God is an awesome
In
God.
today's monumental Bible story,
So try to follow us with these actions. This is the sign language sign for our God. Show us. Our God. And then awesome. He reigns. It's like you're putting on a crown. He reigns from heaven above. Show me heaven above. Heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. So if you can sing or join us in the actions, that would be really fun. All right, let's hear Awesome God now that I've messed up the sound booth.
Yeah. Here we go. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Hey! Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Hey, yeah. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God.
That is amazing, kids. You are amazing because we have what? An awesome God. Wow, that is our VBS. That is our monumental VBS. I can't even find my sheet. Oh, we didn't get a chance to find Power Shuffle, but we'll find it while people are leaving, and then you guys can dance away, okay? But we're going to bring Zach up. We're going to bring Zach up to close us in prayer, and then after prayer, Andrew's going to come up and do a benediction.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, for all these children and everyone here standing around in this sanctuary and watching these kids grow up and learning about God, singing songs, eating food, praise about Him, do a lot of signs about Him, believing in Him, reading His stories. Those children believes Him. And we all believe him too, because this is church. And church makes these kids believe. And that's why we thank you for making those children believe in you. And believe in all the animals and the Bible verses today. To watch these kids grow up and learn more about him. By dancing or singing or just, learning. By using a lot of art, using a lot of energy, and using a lot of brains to make sure that we keep believing in your stories and believing in everything above you, Lord. So just thank you for that, and during this wrap-up, we actually want to thank all the children for all this, and thank all the leaders to take care of the children, and thank you whoever else supported them. We just wish you to keep watching us above, and watch all these kids grow up and everything else, just like I said. And yeah, we just want to thank everything for you, God, for this day and all these children. In His Son's precious name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Zach. Come on down, guys, and we're going to let Andrew. Oh, did you find Power Shuffle? You did find Power Shuffle? Well, I know some kids that might want to run up on stage just to wrap things up. Thank you, amazing tech team.
I feel it in the air right now. It's all around, I see it everywhere. It's the power. Yeah, God's power. It's the power to move any star. It's the power to heal your broken heart. It's the power. Yeah, God's power. So don't hold back, no, don't hold still. 'Cause God is here and He is real. Take 4 steps to the left, to the left.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Turn it around and move to the right.
1, 2, 3.
Now take tiny little jumps forward to the front.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 jumps back, but you better look back.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now freeze. And everybody clap your hands. Now stop. I feel it in the air right now. It's all around, I see it everywhere. It's the power. Yeah, God's power. It's the power to move any star. It's the power to heal your broken heart. It's the power. Yeah, God's power.
Nothing raises the tech team blood pressure other than a spontaneous request. Well done, guys. Reminder, potluck in the fireside room. Everyone is welcome. Please come and get to know each other and share the joy of being in community together. There's plenty of food. One last request for volunteers. If you would like to stay for 15, 20 minutes and help me deconstruct this stage, that would be greatly appreciated. Many hands will make light work of that. So as we go this week, go in the presence of the awesome God who is with you everywhere. May you experience his strength each day. May you have hope and confidence as he is in charge. May you be surprised by his restoring actions as you live in the midst of God's love. So go in peace.